Hey, welcome back to the Vid-Bits. This is Brian here, and we're getting ready to tackle Jason in Friday the 13th for the Nintendo Entertainment System. This game is not as daunting of a challenge as you may think. If you decide to go through with it, I suggest you go with the one-man army mark. We're going to go in and try to light all of the large cabin fireplaces, and if you do it in an efficient order, you should not have to double back too much. You do that by killing 3 normal enemies to spawn a lighter. There's 1. There's 2. You see I'm ducking because the stone is a very unorthodox weapon. There we go. Now doing a little bit more jumping around or killing a 3rd enemy, and I should get a knife to spawn. I'm sorry, a 4th enemy, 4th and 5th enemies. Anything after that, knives will start to spawn. I want to go and light the 2 large fireplaces that are in the circle around the cave. You do that by going straight up, then take a right, up, and then a left, and you see it go off. Left again, up, left again, making sure that you grab any notes that you may see along the way, and up straight to the door, and out you go. I saw that a key was on the screen. If you go into a cabin and you see something spawn right before you go into a cabin, as long as you jump up and down when you get back out of this on the map screen, it should respawn. There's the second. Awesome. That means that when I go back out of this cabin and I jump up and down, that potion should respawn. Gonna light the second large fireplace in this area, and then pay mind to my alarm when I get out of here. Note that you don't have to worry about the alarm progressing when you're inside cabins or on the map screen. There's my potion. I see that Jason's attacking somebody in this area. I can go in and out of here and jump up and down for a potion. There it is. That'll only happen the first time you do it. And he's attacking somebody in this room. I'm going to scroll around until I find him. And we're going to get this first fight, off and running. You're going to attack him and hit him 7 times to progress these fights. The only exception is when you get to the end fight with him, if anytime that you get almost the O portion of his name with damage left, he will just finish his fight for that wave with you when you encounter him. I barely did any damage at all with that knife. Okay, we're going to leave the cave area now. Let's go ahead and hit the topmost large cabin. It's in the upper left corner of the map. I say that because when you look at the map, pardon me, when you look at the map, you will see it is the only cabin that's on the top. So now I can double back this way and go all the way around and not have to reach this corner of the map again on this route. Again, we're just trying to go to the large cabins, pick up the notes, and light the fireplaces. We need at least 1 key. You don't have to pick it up more than once. I'm mainly jumping up and down because I'm hoping for potions to spawn. And there is one. I'm going to ignore that for just a moment. It's the child alarm. There's another one. That's excellent. Alright. This is the last one that I have to hit on the outside. So I'm going to go ahead and take care of this. There it is. And unfortunately for the kids and the counselors, I'm going for speed, so sometimes that means that they're not the biggest priority. As long as you have at least one child and one counselor left, then you can still finish the game. So the one counselor is usually you, and Everything else, unfortunately, can be sacrificed for a fast run. I know I have 43 seconds and I know I'll get there in time, so I'm awesome. That's really cool. I know that I'm going to be able to get there in time, so I'm going to go ahead and try my best to hit these other two large cabins so that I can have a really high-powered weapon when I go in there to try to tackle Jason. And that means a couple of those kids are not going to survive. I mean, if it really truly is Friday the 13th, oh, look at that. Lucky I grabbed that then. Now, I don't have to go to the other large cabin on the lake because if I do, it's just going to give me the flashlight, which is an item that I don't need. If you know where the entrance to the place that it alludes to is, you can actually get there without having to have that in your inventory. So I will make sure to show you where that spot is. And in this case, it's saving us a little bit of time. I'm going to provoke a fight here. Two children did not make it. What's going to dictate whether or not we have a fast or a slow run is basically how often we can get him to spawn, how we can provoke him into staying on the map longer, stuff like that. But that was about 6.5 minutes in, and we're going to go now back to the main movement screen. Be careful when you're jumping up and down, other than the situation you see what I'm doing now, which is trying to provoke medicines to drop. You can accidentally jump into a knife, and if you do that, then you're trading this amazingly high-powered weapon for a crappy knife, and your run is over. All we can do now is try to move and provoke Jason to come on the overworld screen here. If not, we're relying on him attacking children and counselors. You can go in and out of cabins and hope that he's in there. But to get the first phase through, all we're trying to do now is, flush him out. Okay, so we're going to go back this way. Now, while you can do the 7 damage every time that you keep confronting Jason inside of the cabins, there is a way that you can possibly do more. What we're going to do is we're going to switch places with George here, and we're going to try to leave. Let's hope that we don't get stopped at the door. We did. Well, I can't show you exactly what we will do in that situation because we got stopped at the door, but it's okay. It's wave 1, so these confrontations aren't nearly as dangerous, and somebody like George has a chance to survive with his rock here. We're going to switch back to Mark and keep going. Love to get... there we go. Here we go. We're going to go ahead and try to attack as fast as possible and then proceed to the right as fast as possible to make it so that he will double back on this screen and keep doing that. And as you can see, is that quickly we were able to beat him in Wave 1. The main objective of Wave 2 is to go to the cave area, which we're lucky that Mark spawned, and we're going to go and try to defeat the disembodied head of Jason's mother. When you do that, you grab the sweater item, which will allow you to take tremendously less damage. You'll be very thankful that you have the torch in this area because she does a lot of damage to you, and if you had to be in this fight longer than necessary, you're going to find that you're probably not going to survive it, or it's going to wipe out the majority of your medicine. And there we go. That's excellent. We didn't take too much damage. Now that we're shiny, and we're going to find that we're in a better situation as far as not taking nearly as much damage against minor enemies. Now that we got the sweater item, we can go and try to provoke Jason into fighting us as much as possible to end this wave quickly. We're going to go to where he's attacking. Again, be mindful of how often you jump because you can accidentally grab a knife. I do know how it's enticing to want to jump to get across the areas or jump over enemies and not have to stop to fight them. Let's try the bait and switch method with here. We're going to go ahead and change. Hope that he doesn't stop us. He did. Wow. Again. Maybe we can have the same situation happen as last time. We're going to change back over to Paul, or to Mark, I'm sorry, and we're going to see if we can get him to just provoke a fight real quick. And it hasn't happened, but that's okay. There it is. And we're going to do the same thing that we did last time. We're going to try to move as fast as we can. Hope that he just doubles back, and there's a chance that he will. So do not hesitate to continue to hold right and not double back. But that was really good because the torch is doing some excellent damage. And we're doing pretty good as far as time goes. He's probably going to confront a counselor or the children soon because we're not getting him to jump back on this map, but you never know. Again, if you want to bump the day or night cycle, you can go in and out of cabins and that'll happen. Oh, I accidentally took the long way. Now, the worst thing that you could do in this situation is make it so that he goes into final stand mode when he's in the second or third wave because of how erratic his damage or his attack pattern is. I'm hoping that the 7 here will just make it so he'll leave us alone. And it is. Lucky enough that he is. Alright. We can get out of here. It's daytime, too. I know there's just this waiting and anticipating and hoping that we'll catch him on this outside circle. It's the ultimate Nintendo game. You're just running right. If you see me wiggling like that, it's because if something accidentally does spawn that's not a potion, I'm hoping that I can try to avoid it. Again, it's a very risky technique to do that in general. Alright, so he's in here, and we're going to try to do our technique and not fight him in that house. For sure. It's definitely not favorable for us, so we can try the switch, and really that's all we can hope for is that because he's blocked us every time that this time he doesn't. So again, we're going to try changing, and then we're going to try to leave. And he let us leave. Now what you got to do is you got to find another cabin that hopefully does not have a counselor in it. But while you're doing that, you're also letting the person that you switched with get his health drained. So let's hope that when we go to this cabin here, it's empty. I really hope so. And it is not. Bad situation. But we can change with this person. They're definitely going to run faster. So, for Mark's sake, I hope that we can get to a cabin that does not have a person in it. Alright, there we go. We're going to switch to Mark, and we're going to hope that we can leave and finish this fight for the second wave with Jason. And we can. Here we go. And that is how you provoke Jason into a favorable situation to finish the round quickly. So we're going to go into wave 3, and really in this situation we have the best case scenario, which is decent amount of potion and full health. So as long as you don't accidentally have grab a worse weapon or be provoked into too many fights on the lake, you should be okay. And then making a bunch of small mistakes like hitting mindless drone enemies. You just hope that he just hits a vein where you're gonna hit him early, and then just chase him down. And also, plenty of doing the switch method to provoke yourself into a more favorable situation. So what we can do is do that right now, and again, that's all RNG. And the small cabins, you have like a 1 in 8 chance. So it's like you have like a 12.5% chance of something like that of him being in front of the door. So sometimes you get lucky and sometimes you don't. And that again is going to be one of those situations that dictates whether or not your RNG fell favorably for you in a speed run. All right. So we're going to change. We're going to leave. All right. Again, of course, it's got to be one of the slowest counselors. And the problem with this is I don't want my fresh mark to get super killed here. This is very risky. Very, very risky. All right. Sweet. Go to mark. Let me leave. Oh no. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That was a bad. Let's see if we can. All right. Here we go. Maybe we'll be lucky enough to finish him off. It couldn't have been that simple. It still could be, though. Again, I'm just going to run this outer track, and he's taking kids, and it's going to be one of those situations where I don't know how much his health is at. It's pretty good. I'm in a pretty... No, that's my health. It's going to be close. The only thing you can do is hand off the torch to somebody else, but you can't hand the sweater off, so it's not going to matter. If we're provoked into a final fight, it's not looking favorable. Wow, we were very fortunate. See, kids, the sweater is the move. All right, let's see what happens. He could be very final standoffish. It looks like he's going to fight another one of the counselors. We're going to try to do the move and hope that it's going to pay off for us here. We don't really have anything to lose because Mark only has 2 ticks of health left. Change. And he let us leave. That's part 1. Part 2 is hoping that I can get to a empty cabin. This has probably got somebody in it. It does. We're going to change with them, though, because they're probably faster. Oh, that's the woods. I definitely don't want to be in there. All right. All right, so let's see what happens. And final stand. And that's it. That's how you take care of Jason for the 3rd time, and you finish Friday the 13th the fastest way possible. I wasn't a flawless run, but that's okay. If you have different ways that you'd like to finish Jason quickly, please feel free to share them in the comments below. We'd love to hear them. We appreciate you. And as always, stay tuned to the Vid-Bits for more stuff like this. Peace.